Ladies and gentlemen, here on the diner set we have Yvonne, comedian from Brick. Yvonne is a fellow producer at the Brick Art Media Center. As you can see, this is one of the sets here at the space at Chelsea Market. Yvonne is a writer. Yvonne is the producer, comedian. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
What do you do?
Well, I do a bunch of things. I'm a producer at Brick, like you said. I have a show called The Unknown Zone Talk Show.
Is there like a social media to it?
There is. You can go on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, or you
Okay.
can watch it on cable twice a month. I was on this past Wednesday at 12 midnight, and every other Wednesday.
Every other Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of the show? What's the tagline?
It's the Unknown Zone Talk Show. I'm the female Howard Stern.
Okay.
And I'm very funny, and I have a sidekick. I always have a sidekick and a clown on the show, and they're called Sloppy Seconds.
Sloppy Seconds.
Sloppy Seconds, yes.
How difficult it is to make comedy?
It's very difficult.
If someone would become a comedian, what do they need to do?
They have to want it more than anything, because it's very difficult. You have to know to begin with that you're funny. I was funny as a child. I would make people laugh. And for me, it was also a mechanism to get through my childhood, because there were some rough moments, and I would always look at the funny side of the situation. And I was able to make people laugh, which made me laugh.
I have grown up in a family of entertainers, and my grandfather was a director for the circus in Odessa for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
So all the major entertainers in former Soviet Union been guests at our home and stayed and slept. So I kind of grew up knowing a lot of major comedians of that era.
Sure.
And I noticed that most of the comedians are not that funny in real life. They're very
No,
sad,
very serious.
very
Yes.
serious. Like how those two things come together.
That's a great question. And Steve Martin always said, comedy is serious business. And that's the misconception among civilians, is that civilians think comedy is very easy. But you brought up the best point, because I had a kind of a sad, rough childhood, and I would make jokes about the sadness which got me through.
Okay.
And a lot of times with many comedians are either sad or very angry. Right, we're angry at the injustices of the world, of our lives, and we make fun of. Comedians have this ability to see the funny side of sadness, and that's why, like, I was very sad a lot of the time, even though I come off like I'm fun and I'm happy. People always think the worst thing that people think about me is that I'm happy and I have no problems. I'm always happy and I have no problems.
What do you think is the future of comedy in 5, 10, 20 years? How do you think it will transform?
I think we're becoming truth tellers in a more profound way than I ever could have imagined, because of everything that's going on in the world. Because a lot of times in the news they don't tell you the truth, right? So you go to a comedy club, or you watch a comedy special, or my show, The Unknown Zone Talk Show, and you will get the truth of what's going on, but yet we laugh at the craziness of life.
Okay.
So I think it's more of a truth-telling thing.
Is there any particular distinction in comedy based on origin of a person? Let's say, can you tell if it's a Jewish comedian, or it's Italian comedian, or where the person come from?
A lot of times the person will say,
I can tell it's a gender comedy. Like the girls would joke quite differently from the guys.
Right.
I can tell that. But is there like any of the
yes,
like
yes,
origin?
Absolutely. I think, well, sometimes you can tell just by a person's mannerisms and the way
Right,
they speak, but a lot of times we as funny people will talk about that. Like I always thought I was half Jewish.
Okay.
And people think I'm Jewish, right? I'm a New Yorker, so, you know, if
Okay.
you're a New Yorker, you're almost like, you know, you're Jewish by default. But my mother wasn't Jewish and my father was Jewish, but then I found out recently that my grandfather pretended he was Jewish on my father's side, and that he was actually Sicilian.
Why would he do that?
Because he wanted to marry my grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just found that out in the last couple of years. So my last name, which is Yvonne Dillette, I always thought was really Yvonne Deletsky. But I found out recently it's Deletto.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I talk about that on my show. So I think a lot of comedians will talk about the fact they talk about their heritage or the way they grew up, and then you find out whether they're Jewish or
Let's
you know.
give a couple of examples of how we can make a joke on the spot.
You want me to make a joke? I don't. That's the thing. I don't tell jokes. I talk about things.
Okay.
So I'm not a
And
stand-up comedian.
I see. So
you know what I mean? Like I did a lot of improv comedy. So you'd be in a group and you get a suggestion from an audience.
What's the most popular joke? Let's say you would make a comment, and that comment would get a lot of.
Well, I could. I'll tell you. Want me to tell you a joke?
Yes.
I'll tell you a joke. Okay. There's this older couple, and they're hanging out. It's a little dirty. It's not terrible.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
Audience can live.
Okay, good. It's an older couple, and they're hanging out, and the guy says to the woman, "Guess how old I am?" So she looks at him, she looks around, she looks at him, and she goes, "You know what? I can't tell you how old you are unless you pull down your pants." So he goes, "Pull down my pants? What? How is me pulling down my pants going to tell you, help you figure out how old I am?" She goes, "Then forget it. I'm not going to do it." So he goes, "All right, all right, all right." So he pulls down his pants. She looks around. He goes, "Okay, so how old am I?" She goes, "You have to spread your butt cheeks." "I can't. I don't know." So he goes, I'm not going to. I pulled down my pants. I'm not going to. You saw my whole bottom. I'm not going to spread. She goes, "Forget it. I'm not going to guess then." So he goes, "All right, all right." So he bends over, spreads his butt cheeks. She looks around, and she goes, 75. He goes, "That's right." He goes, How by me pulling down my pants and spreading my butt cheeks did you figure out I was 75? She goes, "You told me yesterday." Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Thank you very much. Now, I don't tell jokes, but there are a couple I remember.
Okay. That's okay. Hopefully our audience can live, and
I think they'll survive.
Follow Yvonne on
Yes.
her show. And
Can I give you, before, are we wrapping up? I want to give you a gift, if I may.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to show, this is one of my logos for the Unknown Zone talk show.
Okay.
And you can, I don't know if, can you see that? Yeah.
Can
Okay.
remove a little?
And I brought you a gift because
Wow.
on the Unknown Zone talk show we give gifts, and I have T-shirts. I have a choice for which one you would like because that's a little more feminine, and then there's but you can have that one. You can have whichever one you want.
Oh, okay. I'll choose this one.
Okay, that's right. This is the manly one, and this is my other. It's kind of me on a mic.
Oh,
Me
I
and a
see.
mic, yes. That's my branding. So here you go.
Thank you so much.
You're
Ladies
welcome.
and gentlemen, come to Yvonne's show. Maybe you get
Watch my show. Yes,
Yes.
or come to it. I don't know.
They can write to you, I guess, and
Watch me on
maybe
YouTube,
get invited.
yes.
And
Absolutely.
watch it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alex. That was
That was great,
wonderful.
yeah.
Thank you. Good job. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you the value of going on Craigslist. A few days ago, I looked up on Craigslist and saw some ad. I responded to it. Guess what? Robert Dixon is in front of me, and we're taking the interview at here at the space. Robert is the filmmaker, and Robert will tell us a little bit about how to get distribution deals, how to make films, anything that's relevant to the filmmaking, being a director, correct?
Sure. Okay. So a big misconception that people have is, actually they have several misconceptions, that you have to go to film festivals, get a lot of awards, and that's going to help you get a distribution
That's
deal.
in the past. Nowadays,
past.
it's all driven by data. I think if you have millions of subscribers on YouTube, or if you have millions of subscribers on Instagram, people will just hire you. It's all done by data, don't you think?
No.
Okay, tell us how
Okay.
it's done.
Very simply, a lot of people don't focus on how to make a good movie. Okay, part of it is done by data, yes, but if you don't know how to make a good movie, that's part of the problem. Then getting distribution through wherever, or getting people to actually watch a movie is going to be problematic. You need to actually know how to make that movie. And a lot of people wake up one day just like they decided I'm going to be an actor without any training. They think, oh, I'm a natural. Well, actually, you're not. You have to learn how to act. Same thing with movie making. You have to learn the different aspects. Movie making is the most detailed production that there is, bar none. It's more detailed technically than a stage show or a comedy show or something like that. As a matter of fact, there's 8 points. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget them. Okay, to make a good movie, you have to start off with a good script, obviously. If you don't have a good script, if you don't learn how to make a good script, it doesn't matter how good your production is. Okay, after that, you have to have good actors. If you have people in front of the camera who don't know how to act, then everything else is for naught. You have to have a director who knows what he's doing. You have to have cinematography. A lot of people miss the point on cinematography. Cinematography is important, guys. Okay, then you have lighting. Lighting, very important. Sound, editing, and set design. If you don't have a good grasp of all of these, it's difficult to put a good movie together. You can skimp here or there and kind of get away with it, but if you have too much skimping, if you really haven't learned these aspects, you can't put a good movie together all around, or at least even a good movie is going to have too many problems and people aren't going to want to see it. Who wants to see a good movie with a good script and good acting, but the lighting sucks and you're squinting and trying to figure out what you're looking at?
I think you're absolutely right. The sound is very important, and the story. The people can learn a lot of things on YouTube, in the books, and you can go to school. That would be more academic way, but there are a lot of producers who just did it by themselves and just practicing.
Or YouTube channels that teach you things, and then go again practicing. As you said, you can't make a masterpiece your first time around. You do something, you make it. You can't be your biggest fan. You have to be ready to discern that what's not working. What do I need to make better?
Is there any particular shortcuts that you can share with the audience, what they can avoid not to do, rather than do?
Yes, film festivals. Okay, film festivals are not what they're built to be. I'm not putting them down, but a lot of people, they believe that film festivals and winning awards is going to get them distribution deals. If you don't,
sometimes
it can help. But if you don't know how to put a good movie together, all those awards really don't mean anything.
How can you win an award if you have a terrible movie?
Okay, have you ever been to some of these film festivals?
Yep.
A lot of these film festivals have bad movies. If you're competing against other people who have bad movies, and you just happen to be a little bit better than those other bad movies, you can still have a bad movie and win an award. There's a lot of stinky stuff. I want to use the word stinky and keep this family oriented. But there's a lot of stinky stuff out there, and if you're competing against stink and yours is just a little bit better than stink, it just doesn't smell so bad, it's not saying a lot. Okay? And anyone make it, I don't care if you're a comedian, just like if you're a movie maker. You're creating an art, but you have to take a look at what you've put together and be willing to take critique to make it better. Your first time trying to be a comedian probably wasn't a huge showcase. Get better. Your first time making a movie probably isn't going to be a masterpiece. Make it better. Find out what it is that's not working, make it better. And even if you're making good movies, still make it better. If you're not looking to make your production better and ignoring honest critique, you're sabotaging yourself. Imagine being a comedian and people trying to tell you, well, you're not that funny, and you don't want to listen to it. You're not going to succeed. Same thing for movie making.
Okay. What's the key to get distribution in selling a movie?
Very simply, make a good movie. My third time around, I was determined to get a distribution deal. I didn't do it my first 2 times around, but I kept making better movies. And the third movie...
How do they find you? They look for you online? You look for the distributors? Like, what's the process?
Oh, if you make a good movie, then you can simply do what I did. You make the movie, and you can Google film distribution, and you can find over 100 distributors and mail it to them. That's what I did. I made a good movie. Finally, I was making movies that are good enough. I put it in the mail, literally put it in the mail, got a distribution deal.
Wow.
No film festivals before, during, or after.
Wow. Okay. Guys, you have to ask. I guess you might get it.
You have to make a quality product. You have to know how to make a quality product, and you have to look at your work and see what's not working and make it better. Then you're on your way.
Okay. So people who are looking to buy and sign are looking, if you're not in the ball league of the professionals, I guess you're not even getting to be considered. Once you have the prerequisites, like basic stuff like proper sound, lights, and script and actors, then you have a chance to be considered.
If you put the entire package together well, then you have a chance. If you're in there with your ego first and not really working to make a good product, which is what a lot of people do, it's just ego first and not very good product, you're not going anywhere. But if you're putting hard work and honesty, if your stuff honestly isn't that good, then that's okay, make it better.
Okay. What is your social media? Do you have Facebook page?
I do. Let me get my website because
website is perfect.
Dixonmedia.us. That's DIXON media.us. They can find me, and I'll make sure there's a connection to my Facebook page there because I don't know.
We're gonna put in the subtitles.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is Hulu, all the way from Pennsylvania, and originally from Bangladesh.
That's right.
And you are a designer and you manufacturer. Tell us a little bit about how to be a designer, how to manufacture things. What do you do?
A designer. I went to school for a designer, fashion designer. And
Which one? MIT?
Oh no, it wasn't from my country.
Oh, in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, fashion business, clothing business is like our family business.
Okay.
So I had a dream, like from 2005. That's been 12 years ago. That I wanted to be a designer and I want to do a clothing business in all over the world.
Nice.
That's the reason that I came to this country 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it doing so far?
I'm doing excellent. Otherwise, how could I meet with a great guy like you?
Okay. Like, if someone wants to be a designer, is it required to be part of the family that is in the fashion business? Like, you have upper hand versus someone else who have not grown up. Like, my mom been a designer, so I'm designing things, but it's kind of behind at the kitchen table. I learned things that I don't think they teach much in school. Like when your family does it and generation does it, and you kind of grow up and you've seen that production at home, that's very different from what you do in this at school.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. But you don't have to like mandatory that you have to.
It's not mandatory. I understand people in the first generation make it.
Yeah.
You know, like in Britain, they say to be a gentleman, you need to have 3 generations of higher education before, like your grandparents, your parents, your grand-grandparents, if they all have higher education degrees, then you kind of learn the etiquette and you learn to, to be a gentleman. So I think it's very much similar. It's not a requirement for fashion, but it's really helpful. Generations when, like actors, they have the grandfather was an actor, the parents actor, the child. So when it's in the family, it's much easier to transform, like have a legacy like that.
Yes, you are right. So if we had a family business, so when I learned from school, then every day I went to our factory or our company, so I can learn more. So you are in this.
Is it changing now, like how the fashion industry, the manufacturing is getting different? People used to do it here in New York, in America, and now everything is in China, Russia, overseas.
This is for the price.
Mm-hmm.
When you work here, so the labor is very expensive. My country labor is very cheap.
But when it's fashion, the price is the production is very cheap. the marketing, like if the big company sells the jeans for $1,000, the labor there maybe for $5-10.
$5-10.
The rest of it, it's all marketing, it's all advertising. The magazines are expensive. The publication, all the marketing that's what the money takes.
Yeah, it's right. But is it branding? You can buy the same jeans like $20 also, but same jeans when they put your brand or somebody brand, it comes like $1,000, $2,000.
How do you get distribution? I understand the designing and the producing. That's kind of many people have passed that stage. But what's the path to have a distribution for your designs, for your label? How do you make it big? So all people, like you take one picture on Amazon and you sell thousands and thousands of.
We sell in Sam's Club, Foot Locker, Ross, Burlington, and even we try to work with Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when I was in Bangladesh, this time I found those connections because before like 5-10 years ago, everybody went to Bangladesh, our country,
Right.
to produce their mass production.
Yes.
So this time I got those connections and I kept it.
Mhm.
So then when I came here, I tried to contact with them, and I am successful now. If you go to Sam's Club, Walmart, you will see my brand.
I understand, but this is for someone who has already the production and those connections.
Okay.
I think the new world, like now and the next 4, 5, 10 years, looks different because if I take make something,
Yeah.
and I have millions of views on Instagram or YouTube on this, then I get a phone call from Sam Club,
Yes,
I get a
you're
phone call
right.
from
You're
everybody
right.
else. So all I need is just one place, let's say Amazon. I
Right.
put my clothes on Amazon and it's sold drastically, and I
Right.
get lots of reviews. Then all the other ones call me instead of me asking, please carry my stuff, like maybe you'll pay me later.
Right, you are right.
Mhm. It's how do you get to that point?
I go to the fashion show,
Mm-hmm.
all the fashion show, like fashion event or everywhere. So we take picture, post it in Instagram, Facebook, it whatever. So that's the way I got it. So if I came to you, so I know you can do a lot of things for me. Because
Okay.
you have when you posted something for me, it will be like a billion views.
Okay.
So that's the good for me.
Good. Okay. Sean? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, can you tell us a little bit about your social media? What's your social media numbers?
Hi, so my British Fashion Inc is my page, and the website is www.britishfashioninc.com, and you can find me LUTFOR Rahman @gmail.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, one and only.
Thank you very much. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thank you. It's okay?
Today we have another group from Brick Art Media Center, and these guys are quite interesting. We have Rob, Fred, and Bernard, and they do sports show at Brick. We're gonna find out why there are 3 of them, not 4, not 2, like why, how to work as a team, and we're gonna find out how to make a successful sports show. What's the key ingredients? You want to take it away?
Well, I think because we know each other so well, we knew each other since we were about 6 years old. I feel like we feed off that dynamic
so
with each
you
other.
grow up together. That's
Yes.
why
Right.
you trust each other. So it's not like a knowledge based. It's like trust based.
Right.
Exactly, and we kind of know each other's takes. We have different viewpoints based on sports, different teams we follow, and we basically know where the other person's heading. But then at the same time, someone will throw like a wrinkle, and then it's just like a huge surprise. Oh, you thought like that? And I feel like that works because we know each other so well.
So that's why it's not 4, not 2. It's just you've been friends as 3 of
Right.
you together, and
It's
that's
it's more of a trusting, like you said. Like I trust
reliability
to
factor.
be able to the reliability factor to be able to work with them, and then just knowing that.
comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly,
Be
exactly.
comfortable with each other. That's why it's so. to introduce a new person to the group, let's say you want like a female audience, and you bring like a beautiful model who does sports, which possible. Like,
That's what I'm
if it
talking
does-
about.
you bring. Is it possible to introduce someone to the team, or it's like if let's say you have fights, like everybody, like family have fights, friends, like do you lose someone on the crew? Like how does it work in the dynamics?
I mean, introducing a new person wouldn't really be like an issue because I feel like all three of us we're pretty much flexible in that we're able to work with anybody. We're all like people based on the people's people. Yeah.
Okay.
we all the people's champs. So yeah, I think we all will be able to introduce a new person to the group. And you said like as far as fights, like I feel like we basically brothers, but not even if we're not blood, we brothers. Like we argue.
I
all
have
the time.
family, but I have two brothers. But I can tell you, we have some arguments.
Like it's been
family.
cases on the show when things got really heated on the set, but it's
how
like
do you resolve this? How it's like you move on after?
right, yeah.
With the show, we had like me and him.
Yeah,
we go back and forth a lot, and you know, a few times it would be what people consider out of hand, but because of like how close we are, it's able to be like, all right, this is where it stops. You know, like it's your opinion, my opinion. Sometimes we just agree to disagree. Sometimes we can persuade one another. It never goes further than the show. Like it's an argument based on points of view. And
do you have is the audience favor one particular of you more than someone else? Like do you feel the feedback like that?
I wouldn't think so, because it's like the show is kind of built off of our interactions with one another. So it's kind of like I would say he's like the stats guy. Like he's good with the numbers. He's good with, and he's like the lead. He brings everything.
So everybody have the different
like
different
their
roles.
expertise, and it's just kind of
And
like
it's together. It's like
it comes
It
together
all
to
comes
make
together
a
to make
dynamic. Yeah.
a great product.
What's so special about making a show about sports?
Well,
Sports itself, because there's millions of shows out there with sports, so I don't think just the sports aspect is special. It's the fact that we treat the show as a conversation where we have different viewpoints, where someone else, like you said, if we can bring on someone else, they can easily just fit in the table because they have their own perspective. So we want people to have their own perspective and treat it like a conversation, not just a sports highlight show where they just tell you what happened the night before. We want different debates.
Usually, we have agenda.
Yes.
When we have particular show, we want to promote particular fighter or particular group, and there are special interests behind the show, right? There are sponsors, there are like advertisers, there are like different parts to it. Like how that dynamic is considered. Like, is there like a behind the scene, like you planning? Okay, this is what we're gonna talk about most of the time, and that would be just mentioned briefly. Like how that.
I think it goes based on even though we're reporting on the news of sports, we kind of like do the spirit aspect of sports, like what people are thinking or what people want to hear about. Like it's less about the stats and more about the conversation with us.
Okay. What about the corporate stuff? You talk about sport teams. Every time you mention a private company, private name, is there any particular legal issues that people should be aware of when they do a show like that?
Well, it's huge with the NFL. You can't really show highlights because that's the thing. But because they're publicly corporate, you can't show their highlights, but you can talk about them. You can talk about them without having any rights towards their
so
markets.
You don't show the images or video. But you can express opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, just for the NFL. I don't know.
Just
the
NFL
NBA,
is strictly like that.
They're strict, yes.
Okay, but the other ones are not as
They're a little more lax.
lenient.
You can't show full games, but you can show a few highlights here and there.
Okay.
And of course, we have other YouTube personalities where we find something nice on YouTube where it has to do with sports. Someone does like a trick shot or something like that. We tend to show those and give our reactions on it as well.
Okay. What do you think gets you the most ratings in sports?
I think it's the
jokes.
I think
he has a good segment.
I think it's the comedic part of it, because we do a segment of a show called Are You Dead Ass, And then it's basically like the comedy part. Like we show the funniest clips in sports and be like, "Are you serious? Like is that like somebody does a really bad shot? It's like, yo, come on, bro." Like,
what is the percentage of those shots being properly staged to get those views, and what are the percentage of actual ones, the one that actually take place?
We find them all. Like we don't. None of them are.
But none of them are staged.
Nah, they're just like throughout
you
the
know,
game.
people want some views. People
Yeah.
do funny stuff just
But
to get.
it's
to
like
get,
more so we find them throughout the games and the actual events going on, and like say in basketball you make a terrible pass and it's just like, where did that
It's
come
been
from?
known in the history that two teams come together and decide, you win this time, we win this time, and we're gonna make like a funny moment here, and we're gonna make an interesting moment here, so we get some use. Can you determine when it's been pre-staged and or if it's a real game?
I haven't been able to say.
No,
sometimes it seems like you did it just for.
You know, like in wrestling, you can tell.
Yeah,
you know,
which is a sport, by the way. I consider that a sport, by the way.
Okay,
Wrestling,
but you can still tell that this guy's kind of figured out who's the villain, who's the hero. But in the sports, it's much more difficult.
Yeah, because like in wrestling, like it was a match a couple months ago between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and it was like, I paid a lot of money to watch the pay-per-view, but to me it was like, yo, the match is over in like 2 minutes, and like Goldberg is a really old wrestler, and Brock Lesnar is in like the best shape of his life, and Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in like 36 seconds, and it was like,
so you thought it's
like it was clear it was staged. It was clear it was staged.
They won the number of. The longer people watch, the more
and that's what it was about.
So short.
It was about the views, yeah. It was about the storyline as opposed to the views.
Shrink the story so they get more attention rather than the
exactly.
Number of, so this, I see. And you can tell. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, what's your social media? What's your like a hashtag for the Instagram or like a?
The name of the show is Unnecessary Roughness. You can follow us on Twitter at 3T Sports, 3T SPORTZ.
Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully we'll do a couple more of those interviews, and people will follow you guys at the Brick and other markets.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wedding photographer with us here. Lemuel will tell us how to break into the wedding photography, what's so special about your photography, and how to be different from the amateur photographers, how to distinct your style.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us a little bit about your
okay, so my name is Lemuel Ayatude, and I go by Lemuel Ayatude Photography.
Okay.
Our website is LANYCPD, Photography and Design, PD, .squarespace.com.
Okay.
So, and,
any Twitter?
No Twitter. No Twitter. I do have Instagram.
Okay.
It's LANYCPD. That's an Instagram.
We'll put it on the subtitles. Okay.
And I also have Facebook, but you can find me at LANYC Photography.
A lot of fashion guys who shoot fashion hate weddings and would never do it. Why do you do weddings?
Dude, it is just the intensity of the event. I just love it, man. I just love the fast pace of it. I love calling the shots. I love knowing exactly what's next, and I love it when new guys come in and they're just totally blown away by the speed of it. And I'm just like taking it. It just makes me feel so like in control.
Okay. How do you distinguish yourself from the new guys? They can have many cameras, they can have lights and the assistants and all that stuff. What's different from
my thing? I think, and a lot of people go into photography right away, but I think it's guts. Because you need to have that courage to be able to do something while everybody's looking at you. You know what I mean?
You don't
You're like,
have a second take.
Yeah, there's no second take, and then you have to be able to be creative. So now you have to call shots. You have to try to determine exactly how it's going to be done within moments' notice. And there's people watching you, and you just have to do it. I think it's guts. Obviously, photography is a major thing about
it. When you go to the getting ready, what do you have? You have the, I guess maybe medical, like a first aid kit. You might have like I don't know, like some kind of props for them. Like what do you bring?
You know, I bring
batteries.
I have to bring
memory
two
card.
of my. I have to bring two bodies, obviously, a redundancy of items so that just in case something fails, you always have that's a mark of a professional. But also being able to judge the room and be able to kind of create the scene with the room that you're given. Every house is different. Every hotel room is different. Every bride is different. So you're gonna have to look at where the light is falling, how the light is.
Like, I put a piece of a script. Let's say all the phone numbers. So in case my phone is off, at least I have all the bride, the groom, all the phone numbers on paper. And I put together for them a list of all the shots that I choose for them to take, so I can show them this is the pose we're taking. This is the like facial expression.
Yeah, for me, I try to remember everything.
I try to do it on the phone, but sometimes the glare it doesn't get it.
I try to remember everything. So for me there, I review exactly who I'm dealing with, the mom and the dad. I speak to everybody. Mom, dad, here is what we're going to do. Pretty much everything is timeline, and everything goes according to what you already have done 100 times or so. And you just kind of go by it. But yeah, I try to remember everybody and everything.
How do you manage the video guys? Like everybody, like you have a job to do, right? You have to do your shots. But video guys also want to do their shots. And then there is Uncle Bob who wants to use his tablet. How do you like?
With the video guys, normally they're professionals, so they understand the work that we're trying to do together.
Everybody competes for the.
So what I do is I'll take my shot. I look at what they're doing. If their shot is also good, I try to take and work with it. And we're trying to work together for that couple. So we're wanting to make sure that we're in line with what they're doing. And as for Uncle Bob, you know what? If he's not in my way, I let him do it. If he's in my way, I tell him he's in my way.
I have extra like reflectors and props, and I just try to make them part of my team. Otherwise, they just do their own thing. They in front of me and
exactly. You're gonna have to feel like they're part of it. Otherwise, you're gonna look. You're gonna compete.
They could be very important people for the bridal couple, so they might not be so happy. If
ultimately, the bride and the groom are the people that we're working for. And so we have to work with one another.
What are the litigations that you face? Like sometimes you take the shots, they love your portfolio, they choose you. At the end, when you're ready to deliver, oh my God, I don't like the shots. I wanted something. There is no something else.
I have not been in that for too long. I've been doing it for just a few years, so thank God I have not gotten into litigation yet. But I do have a pretty good contract that stipulates that once they download it, once they like it, and I do in-person viewing. So in-person viewing, I do my IG. I show people that I capture them for a few seconds, expressing how they love the photos, so that when they come back, I have some type of evidence that say, hey, you guys loved it, and what happened,
Okay. As far as getting paid, look, some folks like to get upfront the payment. Some wants to get paid later.
Right. Never later.
Part of the payment, so they can divorce.
Never later. Exactly. Never later. For me, it's 35% up in the booking, and then I do full payment a month before.
How do you advertise? Where do you look for your
referrals? Word of mouth. I think I do horrible work at marketing. That's an area that I need to.
You just live off the
referrals, but next year I'm looking to really go to bridal shows, doing some street work, knocking doors of bridal boutiques and hairdressers and venues and all that stuff. So I'm gonna do the grassroots type of marketing.
Your style. Is there any particular like when I shoot like Aliona will see that I start now to doing say I have the weddings in the Star Wars style or the Godfather style or the Salvador Dali, so it's built based on if they have particular preference for the theme. Then in that whether it's Ruben or it's Michelangelo, I would nail it to that particular style.
Yeah, for the weddings that that have booked me, I pretty much they follow my style. So I've not done anything where somebody said, "Well, I want it this way." They know my portfolio, they know my work. I do a lot of off-camera techniques and things of that nature that separate me from other guys. But for now, no one has come and said, well, this is my theme, I'd like you to shoot this way. So if that comes, I'm sure I'm going to be able to do that. That's no
But
issues.
what I'm trying to say that I get more and more requests to shot it in fairy tale style. You remember it used to be photojournalistic style, and everybody
Now it's
no
fairy
one
tale.
wants to have the traditional. Now they want to feel like Cinderella. They want to have all the extra props and
Yeah, well, if they have the money, I'm willing to do it, man. That's all I'm saying. And I do Photoshop, so I can generate that kind of style if they want it post work. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we could do that. That's no issues.
Ladies and gentlemen, wedding photographer is, I guess, might come back again.
Love to.
If you have more questions how to shoot the weddings, maybe you can write to us and you might come back.
That would be awesome, man. I'd love it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Today we have rapper Young Atlantic, who will tell us about how to rap, how to promote your rap, and where it's all started and where it's going. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Alright, well, I'm Young Atlantic, and basically I'm a music artist from Flint, Michigan. And as far as how to rap, you gotta have a message. You gotta.
A lot of people have message. It might not mean anything. Like, what's the the key to have? What kind of message you need to have?
You gotta have a strong message that other people can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a good rhythm and a nice voice, and then in the kind of music I do, rap music, you gotta have lyrics or a catchy hook, or know how to ride the beat, pretty much.
Okay. What's the the money part behind the rap? Like, how do you fund your projects? Do you do it yourself? Like, where's the where it takes you in the future?
All right, well, in the beginning, you gotta, and a lot of people spend a lot of ghost dollars. They don't know where they're spending the money, trying to learn how to work the way through the music business. Once you actually start to learn how to work your way through the business and
So what
spend it.
not to do?
Well, I would say what not to do is spend money in a lot of ghost loopholes, like people online trying to sell you stuff, false promises. Don't spend your money in nothing that you don't see a profit in or progression in. Pretty much just watch. God bless you.
On truth.
Pretty much be careful where you spend your money and make sure
What
that
would be the good way to spend money? Google advertisement, Facebook advertisement?
Yeah, I would say Google advertisement, YouTube commercials, through Google AdWords. It's a lot of platforms you could put yourself on.
I find that it's a kind of waste of money for me. Like, it's whatever money I put into this, pretty much, that's what I get back. I don't get like exponentially back any numbers.
Okay, well then that's when you would take it to the street team aspect and go out to the malls, go to the concerts, the basketball games, and pass out flyers.
I see.
And promote with a street team, and
So
add to the internet promotion to make sure
it's
that
a lot of footwork.
a lot of footwork, meeting people, shaking hands, and kissing babies, man.
Okay, you look like a real politician.
That's how you gotta do it.
Okay. What it takes to write a good rap music, like, to get popular?
To get popular, you gotta make something relate to a lot of people. Something really catchy that they can't get out of their head, and that'll get played in on radio or in the clubs. Me personally, I do stuff like that.
How do you get to do this?
How do you get to do what?
Like, get something catchy, get something.
Get something catchy. Well, you really gotta have an ear for the beat. If you got an ear for the production and you got a good producer or a good beat maker, starts there. After that, use fly words, stay up to what's going on. And me, I put a lot of words in each sentence, so like I squeeze in a lot, and it still sounds catchy. So that's why they like me.
Okay.
Other people, they just do what they think everybody wants to say, but can't rap. So they try to say what we all want to say.
Where do you think the rap world is coming in the future? In 5, 10, 20 years? How do you think the rap industry is going to look like?
Like techno rap. Like, I think it's just going to get commercialized a lot, and it's going to change from where it's at eventually. But it's going to make a lot of money.
It's going to be all about money? It's not going to be about solely about the message?
Nah, it's not going to be about the message. It's already going away from half and half. you having to have a message. It's going into more what's popular, what's trending. It's colliding with, it's like combining with fashion and everything. But right now, hip hop is the #1 genre. So.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear what's your social media.
On the internet, I'm on YouTube under YouTube/Atlantic228. My Instagram is YoungAtlantic810. Twitter, I'm YoungAtlantic1, and pretty much Young Atlantic on all other social platforms.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Let's ask a question. Let me hear something. Let's say something. Let me hear something. Let's stop.
Like, what do you mean? Ask.
Okay. I just want to make sure we were picking that up too now.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another fellow producer from Brick here at this space. We're using today the diner set, and Dr. Neva is a fellow producer at Brick, like I said. Tell us a little bit about your initiatives. Like, what do you do? What's your show is about? Like, why are you here?
Okay, so my show, thanks for having me. Let me start by saying
pleasure.
that. Now, my show on Brick pretty much is called Global Business, and I interview individuals that are in the business industry, specifically globally, to come and talk about their business, whether it's been creating something of fabric or importing, exporting.
Okay.
It varies.
I have a similar show at Brick. It's called Beer Den. Have you seen the show Shark Tank?
Yes,
It's
I
very
have.
similar to the Shark Tank because we have the investors, we have the people who pitch, but because Brick does not allow use any of money, instead of investing money, the investors, but basically the sharks, they invest their talent, they invest their experience, so it's kind of a trade deal rather than a cash deal.
Okay.
So it's more similar, but it's also like the business have to be local to Brooklyn at some point.
Right.
So they
yeah.
have to have whether the branch or the headquarter office, it has to be because it's Brick.
Okay, specifically the requirement is for Brick, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
how the beer den shall built. It's like I have like 5 wealthy individuals
Right.
some who have obviously money and influence and experience, and we have people like actors, models, the designers. If someone wants to open a barber shop, someone wants to open a kind of a store and they need whether funding or expertise or like they need something, so they come and pitch what they need.
Right.
And then the sharks, like we call them bears. Bears, they pitch what expertise they have and what they can give and what kind of percentage of business they want for that influence they have.
Sounds great. I need to watch that program. Yes.
Okay.
So I've had many different people come on the program to talk about setting up their business, and I'm labeled as a global business developer. I'm also a speaker. I travel internationally.
Do you do keynote speaker?
Yes, definitely.
How do you get those assignments? And why would people call you to do the keynote speech? Have they heard your previous speeches, or like you apply, or you charge a little and someone else charge a lot? Like, how do you get those gigs?
People hear me when I speak. For one, I have the International Women's Day Conference, and I've gotten a few requests for me to come and speak at different events because they heard me speaking. And I believe I'm very passionate when I deliver my message. You know, people want to relate to you. And once they can relate to you, you stick in the back of their mind, and when there's an opportunity, they will reach out to you. So how I get these opportunities? Referrals, one, and that's the best. Example, at my conference, a woman was there. She liked what I had to say, reached out to me and said, you know what, I'm having a conference in India. Can you come out and do a workshop in India for me?
Do you do it by Skype, or you actually physically travel to India?
I physically travel. I was there earlier this year. I was in Barcelona. I was in London. I was in Dubai. Yes, I travel.
You do a lot of work in women division, inspirational for the women-led businesses. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, I think that just comes to me. I don't know why for me. I don't label myself as such, but it comes to me, and I figure I'll just run with it.
There are businesses, and there are businesses that consider themselves that they have a female presence. What's the distinction part in those businesses? Is there any particular policies there, or anything like that identify businesses that have women presence?
Well, I believe what you're asking with, is there anything special about having, I'm going to ask you to rephrase that question.
When you see a particular business, let's say modeling agency, advertising agency, or like a bank, you can tell who owns that business, the gender, the like what kind of person. The person could be, let's say, Trump. You can tell the person is arrogant, the person is strong and powerful and likes to brag and stuff. So you can tell, you walk in the hotel and you can tell this is a luxury, that's a particular presence. That's not a female taste, that's a strong guy presence there behind us. And there are businesses that are women owned, like let's say a fashion designer, a female. You can tell that this design is made by a female designer.
Right.
All the decisions been taking place mostly on that. You can, if someone gay, you can tell that they are, at some point that they have that part of their characteristics. So my question is, what's what traits do you see in the businesses that are owned and led by female source?
Now, a trait that I will see is they show their passion a little bit more. It's like
the guys are very calculative and the girls like more emotional.
Emotional, passionate. I don't like that word too much. Emotional depends, because it could be, but passionate about what they're doing.
Feminine. Like what
Feminine, yes, that's a word we could use. Yeah, definitely. They tend to want to, for some part, lack of a better word, sometimes just want to collaborate with each other. So it's like this helping mechanism to help each other.
You have your PhD. How that reflects on your show? Like there are folks who, like rappers, like, off the street, not normal folks, and there are people who have higher education. Whether it's a vocabulary, particular vocabulary that you use, or pace, like how that distinguish you from other shows. Like let's say my question is, there is Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I don't think she went to many schools and much education, but she's extremely popular, and whatever she puts, a Twitter note or a Facebook note, Instagram picture, that gets sold.
Yes.
A lot of people have degrees, education, experience, knowledge, PhD, like really smart people, and they're not capable to build that kind of following. Right. Even how that could be translated to like to popularity, having such an honorable degree achieved.
Well, you have other individuals out there with a TV program with a doctorate in front of their names. You have, once people, they gravitate to you.
You have a smaller audience, but more sophisticated, more like wealthy, more like educated.
With my specific audience?
Yes.
I mean, yes, I have a variety of audience. I'm not going to just interview individuals that, because they have a doctorate in front of their name, or they did not go to school. They have a business.
Right.
They can still tell you about how to build your business.
I understand. The businesses are still the same way. They go to another show or your show, but your show, because you have this pedigree behind you,
right,
and those titles and achievements, I'm pretty sure when I watched a couple of your episodes, I can tell it's different from someone who don't have those titles to their name.
Right.
Like how that affecting the viewership?
How is it affecting the viewership? I still get viewerships. However, it may not be as much because I don't have the big time entertainer on my show. But it's okay because I want to deliver the content. I hope that person will watch it and say, you know what? I can build my business too. I can go global with my business. I can become someone. So I'm not really fixated on the popularity at the moment. I do believe that once the content is there, it will attract the right individuals to go to the next level.
Okay. I don't know if you have seen my live fashion collection, but it's pretty much international in that sense. We make and buy a lot of things from China.
Right.
We produce part of the clothing in Russia, Ukraine, and we do the final parts here in New York, in Brooklyn.
That's excellent.
Most of my wife ladies who saw the beads, the glow and dark beads, disabled and the females. Like it's like probably 99% of them are. I think we have just one elderly guy who does it, and everybody else is female. So that's pretty much, in my mind, is global. A business, because I think when we sell on Amazon, eBay, 60 to 80% is sold internationally. It's not that much in the U.S. So it's. I would say that my wife business fits right there to
Yeah,
your
maybe
show.
I could talk to your wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear your social media one more time.
Oh, my social media, I am on Instagram at dr.nevalexander.com. And I'm sure you're going to put the information out there, right?
Just tell us one more time.
Dr. Dr. dot Neva, N-E-V-A, Alexander.
And the same thing for the Instagram.
And
Facebook.
the Instagram is Dr._NEVA.
And on Brick, do you have particular timing for the programming?
No, right now we're
It's,
just running special program.
specials.
Yes.
Okay, me too.
Definitely. Yeah.
I find it's actually better than having a particular time slot, because they show my fashion shows, they tend to like them, so
Right.
they show them more often than if I have a particular time, and then they cannot run it again and
Yes.
again. So special works for me also.
It's definitely beneficial to
Do
me.
you get a lot of feedback on Brick? Because I don't think I got a lot of responses back. Like I don't know what to do, like to increase the number of mail back from Brick. Whatever I put up, like even if it goes from Verizon, from Manhattan, I still have very limited feedback.
To be honest with you, no, I don't. My feedback come from my YouTube.
YouTube, same
Yes.
thing for me.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
People still want to be on TV, so the
Yes.
Brick, it helps. Like YouTube live forever, and
Right.
Brick, they want to see themselves on TV.
it's
so
still an outlet, so take advantage of it. That's the way I see it.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalia is model. As you can see, she's very pretty, and we'll find out what it takes to be a model, how to strike a pose, how to make a facial expressions, and if there are any other questions like find modeling gigs, what does Natasha do to be successful in the modeling arena? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how's your modeling started? Like, what do you, where it all come from?
I started a few years back. Actually, I started redefining my friends. I used to like one guy, and just like, oh, you need to start doing modeling. It's gonna help you. So it just took
Did it
me.
help you?
No.
No.
But it helped me to
Help
become
you for
like-
what? Like, help you to
So,
be popular? Like, to help in what?
to make him get jealous.
To make him get jealous. Okay.
Yeah, so she took me to her gig with her, and the first time was really funny. I was like, how to do, like, what should I need to do? I was like checking like website, everything's possible, like Google, Facebook, Instagram. I was like, how to do modeling poses.
And so you just look at the on the Google the poses and the facials.
Yes, and I'm just take.
Google has all the answers nowadays. I see.
So yes, I'm just she's shooting, and I just take on the corner from her, and just like Google all answers like how to do that. I was like, I can't do that. Like, what should I do right now?
But do you practice in front of the mirror? Do you practice at home? Like, how do you learn the particular look?
Yes, when I usually go to gigs and they give me clothes, I'm just try to go somewhere with the mirror and just like this dress gonna look like that. Like if I would turn like this or to do something, it's like it will look better.
Okay.
So yes, but also I'm checking all websites and I see recommendations like how's gonna look better.
Where the most jobs come? Is it Model Mayhem, or like nowadays Instagram gets more gigs for people in modeling industry rather than Model Mayhem? Like in the past, it was primarily the site. Like where are you getting your gigs primarily?
When it just started, it mostly was Model Mayhem because
and now
it's
referrals?
Good. The beginning was only Model Mayhem because I was like. Like what should I do? Like I need to find jobs like somehow just to practice and see like what's gonna look better
when
for me.
When you talk to a stranger like a photographer on Model Mayhem, there are a lot of perverts and crazy people there. How do you distinguish? You can deal with someone and someone not to deal. Like, is there any advice for other beginning models who are starting this and they don't want to get into the difficult situation?
Yes, very important. It's to ask questions like, how long is your experience? Can I see your works? Because some photographers is like, oh no, we never worked before. Like we just want to do some photos, videos, and it's like, no, it's like it's really looks sneaky. It's like it's not what you're supposed to do.
I find that a lot of photographers on Model Mayhem who are doing this for the first time, and they're not very much experienced, so they would pay way more than the photographers who are very experienced and done thousands of models. If someone is extremely experienced, they have huge portfolio, they would never pay substantial money for the model because they can get a lot of models to work model for them for free for the portfolio. But the guys who don't have good portfolios, who don't know what to do, they tend, because they cannot get the proper models, they would pay double, 3 times whatever the rate the model will charge to build that portfolio.
But it's important just to call and just hear their voice. Just when you talk to people personally, like you can understand what the kind of person is at.
So you have your gut feeling, like intuition.
Yes, it always worked for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, very important just to call and just to hear.
They're actors and they can speak so nice and pleasant on the phone, and when you come in, actually, it's a quite different story. So, like, how do you take precautions? Do you have like a police phone number? You bring a friend with you, like a escort? Like, is like what I do, for example, when I go hunting, I would give to my wife a list of like the place where I'm actually going to hunt, the people I'm going with, so in case something happens on the hunting space, at least they know where to look for me.
No, my family, they in Russia, so I moved here by myself.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but I have training. I actually, before I moved to New York from Volgograd in Russia, I used to be cop, so I just like I know how to defend myself.
Okay, so you're stronger.
So for me it was easier.
Okay. What do you think is the future of being a model for you particularly? In my experience, in the last 5-7 years, the girls that I know, that the models, some of them married to really wealthy individuals. Some girls established their own big businesses. Like, do you think that this is maybe a path for you 5, 10, 20 years down the road? Like, how do you look in your future as a model?
I'm thinking to continue developing myself as a model, just in different like field. As well, I'm trying to get more into acting. Because I think it's like
do you dance?
Yes, yes, I like dancing as well, and also I just started to do drawings because I recently went traveling in New Orleans and it just gave me so much ideas just to do like more drawings.
Nice.
So I'm just trying to do everything a little bit. And also I like to inspire people. Like recently I just spoke to some people and I just see my work, it's like whoa. I'm like so happy to hear this reaction.
Tell me a little bit about your trip to Vegas. You just came back.
Yeah, it was my birthday week on the 5th of November. So I went to New Orleans and I went to Las Vegas for 3 days each. I really love about United States. Every state, everything's so different. You can go from one city to another. It just feel like the completely different energy, completely different vibes. But everything, like all these ideas, like just like when you go to different cities or different countries, you can feel like you can get some energy from them. You get some ideas just to walk and just to see. Like, for example, this was for centuries and centuries. People, they already create something before, which now is like, as it says, history always repeats. So most things from the past, they now is like, they can be like useful now for example, like some arts. Even for some arts which they was paint before, it actually could even be used for modeling. Okay. Because like all these like poses or anything.
Art is art, like, whether it's modeling or painting or after you will have a poet. She's a model and a poet. And we worked in the past with this Aliona. She's also from former Soviet Union. You can see her by the teleprompter right now.
Hey.
And hopefully you hear her interview as well. Repeat your social media, please, for the audience.
Yeah, my Facebook is Natalie Hope and Instagram as well, natalie.hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Aliona became a frequent guest on our show, but today she's not modeling for us and not doing interview. What Aliona will do, she will show to you a little bit of another side of her artistic soul, and not only she takes pictures, but she's also a poet. And you will hear a couple of poems by Aliona in English and in Russian. Take it away.
I'm so happy that you invited me again.
Louder.
My poems are basically about love. So let me introduce you to my poems. Drawing the picture of myself, asking Lord of who I am. Angels, edges, flowing lines, looking deep into my eyes. Hiding secrets, touching soul, I would fix this, reach my goal, promise and reflection lights, I would never sacrifice. 100 thoughts and intent flow, wind up before I glow, one step closer, do not stop, love this feeling, my head up. I'll be patient, staying calm, asking you, just lead my palm.
Is there a Russian one, or let's do another English?
I need you the most, like never before. I love you like hell, but slamming the door. I hated to see you last couple of times. My heart screaming, need you, be never apart. When somebody touched me, this hands is not yours. They needed to punch me, wake up from your thoughts. The hundreds of questions. What if, and then why? Still feeling temptations, I'm unbelievably shy. I wanted to change my previous life. Today had no sleep and woke up at 5. I took all my notes and burned to the dust. I have no more feelings and no one to trust.
Do you have any in Russian one?
I have one more in English.
Yeah, let's do one more in English.
When you feel each other in a distance, when you text and mailing every day, I would give to you my credence. I don't care that you're so far away. Maybe we would always be two hipsters, funny, crazy anyway. Well, we'll transcend all these obstacles and at least this friendship get obtained. We are friends through hundreds of kilometers. and be honest to myself, it is something that I can't explain.
Wow, it's pretty cool. I heard you have a couple of Russian ones, so let's hear a couple of Russian ones.
I do have it. Она ушла, захлопнув дверь. Кружились мысли в голове. Он знал, и пробирался гнев. Опять дыра в душе. Я превращаю в пыль его к ней трепет чувств. Она ушла к нему, я больше не вернусь. Он вспоминал те дни, ее манящий смех. Он ей читал стихи, боролся за успех. И сутки напролет работал за троих. Он знал, растопит лед, и что не из чужих. Ее не забывал, все мысли лишь о ней. Он каждый день писал, какой прекрасный день. Ты для меня весь мир, а я тебе никто. Но почему, скажи, ты выбрала его? Ты только посмотри, ведь он опасный тип. Здесь чувства не нужны, позвал за внешний вид. Ты кукла для него, позвал, и ты пришла. Вот только ты пойми, ты явно не одна. И так летели дни, недели и года. Он про нее забыл и покорял верха. Стал сказочно богат и для других мечтой. Ее любили все. Он мог зажечь с любой. И так вот каждый день он снова в новостях. Он в топе свежих тем. Теперь он олигарх. Все встречи ассистент назначил для него. И фото для газет, и Бентли под окно. Но как-то один раз он шел мимо домов, где жили он и ты, где прятали любовь. Он вспомнил обо всем, поднялся на этаж. Стояли вы вдвоем, и не хватало фраз. Он 5 минут молчал и просто так смотрел. Имел холодный взгляд, он больше не краснел. Прошу, один лишь шанс, тут вдруг сказала ты. Ты не забыл про нас, осуществим мечты. Хотел я все вернуть, хотел я быть с тобой, но выбрала свой путь и причинила боль. Я стал еще сильней, теперь имею все. Я счастлив, ну а ты меня не беспокой.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
I'm so happy that you
That's
do like
pretty
my
amazing.
voice.
I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of responses to this. Let's tell the audience a little bit about your social media, so how they can look you up. Do you have like Instagram or Facebook? What's the best way to look you up?
Yeah, my Facebook is Елена Kucherenko. It's ELLENA and KUCHERENKO. And the Instagram is Shine and Klaus, really a short name. So yes, it's basically it.
Thank you.
Stand by. And so these people just walk by.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Janelle here. Janelle is known to do pageants, and a variety of pageants in different angle, I would say, pageants than most people would think of pageantry. Let's find out about your history, background, and where the pageant industry is moving forward, like what are how-to behind the pageant.
Absolutely. I once owned a beauty pageant, and I then owned a different type of pageant, which was personality-based, because not all pageants are all about looks anymore. And it was for children to adults, and it was wonderful. Like, I really truly enjoyed it. And then the industry, as you were saying, did change, and that's why we really, in the pageantry industry, don't use the word beauty pageant anymore. We just use the word pageant, because there's so many different types of pageants, and that old mentality of having to be physically perfect is slowly changing, because we realize beauty's changing. Not everyone looks at a person and said that person's a 10. Because that beauty is changing in a beautiful, wonderful way, where all different types of forms of the women and men are being more accepted, a new standard of pageantry occurred. So now we have so many different pageants. We have plus size, we have married women, which for a while there really wasn't that many. We have for older women, senior citizens, and men. We have transgender pageants, even drag pageants. There is a difference.
Most of the pageants are based on a particular, let's say, Russia or Ukraine, or by the geography. And there are pageants are now built based on the totally different criteria, like business owners who promote their causes. They use the pageants as more like a platform rather than the stage.
Absolutely. One thing that we have realized a change in overall in like any country is that now that we're removing that standardized beauty, that people want to hear the message that these title holders want to bring to the platform. Recently in a pageant in South America.
Is it because of the money aspect? Because in the past, I think the pageant been mostly funded by the sponsors, by the wealthy individuals who wants to see a beautiful girls on stage. And parents wants to marry their girls to the most eligible, the best eligible prince or bachelor that they can find. Nowadays, I see a lot of really wealthy girls competing in a pageant, and those girls are extremely smart. They have like 1 or 2 college degrees. They have substantial wealth behind them, trust babies, and they cannot find love. They want to be, on stage, not only as the lawyer or doctor, not only as the daughter of someone, but just to for themselves, like to show that I'm beautiful, I'm smart.
They want to be appreciated for who they are. Absolutely, and that is the part of the changes that we. In general, there's just a wonderful change that women are becoming more ahead of the times. You know, back in the day, you send your daughter to college just to find a husband, or you would put her in a beauty pageant, like from New York City, Miss Subway, just so they can get their face out there and hopefully find a doctor for a husband.
But most of those girls become actresses. They become models. They become they build career out of this.
Absolutely, Vanessa Williams.
You win a title and
Eva Longoria. I mean, we have lots of famous pageant people. Justin Timberlake. Many people. Usher. There's boys too. And what happens with pageants, and what people don't realize, because they only want to criticize it. You know, a lot of people want to criticize pageants, but they don't see the amazing things that pageants do. It gives you a stage to perform. It brings you confidence. It makes you think quickly. So all of these past winners that I mentioned, Eva Longoria, Justin Timberlake, they got all this experience from pageantry, from being on that stage, being able to speak, and being able to have eye contact with the judges, and being able to engage with people.
It's a totally different walk. Yeah. The runway walk, you look like very stiff and strong, and you look like a tough person. On the pageant, you have to smile, you have to hold so many eyes.
Absolutely.
It's a different look.
It's a different beast. It is a different beast, because the pageantry is like the smile and all this, and then you have like the runway walk, which is more serious. So when you do pageants, you learn that, and guess what? You learn the complete opposite. So if you're great at pageants and you feel the confidence that builds you, then on your runway, when you become a model, you change. You just do the complete opposite of what you did, and that's where you get your experience. And a lot of people who are now famous because of pageants is because it gave them a platform.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the judging pageant. How to become a judge? How the judge, are they funding the pageants, or they are interesting people? How to build that credibility that you are a trustful person, that you would not be bought by the special interest, and you would choose the right person for the right reasons. Because let's be honest, like a lot of people in the industry, it's not a non-profit in many cases. Sometimes it's a profitable venture, and people need to get paid, and they choose whoever fund them the most wins the pageant, and it's jeopardized the whole judging system.
That's how people might feel, and that's something called credibility and transparency. My pageants, I'm very straightforward. I believe I was 100% fair and honest. I would tell the judges as a director what I was looking for in each contestant. You know, this is the package that I'm looking for my title holder. This is what I require from them. And I would hire judges that did not have a close relationship with the contestants, because it's very hard.
You
it's a
want
very small world where everybody knows each other. There
Absolutely.
are different interests and different perks.
Yeah,
to-
and that's where it becomes so difficult, Alex, because you want to find a person who understands pageantry. You want to find someone who understands it's such hard work to be a contestant. It's not 1, 2,
But
3.
it's also about numbers nowadays. It's all about, you bring a particular judge, you know you're gonna sell that many tickets. You know that you get so many views. So if someone has particular following, and you know you bring a Kim Kardashian as a judge, you're gonna sell this whatever the arena is.
I've had celebrities come to my past events, and yes, but that does not take, the celebrity is still a person of integrity. For me, now I'm not saying every pageant is, honest. There's a lot of them that aren't, and that is an issue. But the ones that are honest, they have longevity, they have the reputation of being honest, so they keep on going. When you become dishonest as a director and say, okay, I'm going to pick that girl because she's done my pageant 5 times and has given me the most money, it's time for her to win, that's not an honest system, and people are going to know. They're going to know that's dishonest, and they're not going to come.
Loyalty important. There are different titles, and you can give Miss Loyalty, Miss. There are a variety. There are different titles to that, but it also has to be a fair, somehow a fair system, a way to compete. Life. When the reason why I send my daughter to pageant, and the reason why I think the pageants exist is because not everybody win.
Right,
just one person can win out of so many.
Absolutely.
And you need to teach people who compete that life is a competition, and second place get pretty much nothing. If I'm as a wedding photographer compete for the wedding, and out of 20 people they pick me as a second option, I still don't do this wedding.
No, you still get paid.
I'm still
and you still don't get the title.
So still don't get it. So same thing in the pageant. There is only one title. You can have all the honorable titles, but how gracefully to lose and how to gracefully win. So
well, my daughter does pageants. Well, not anymore. And that's part of my transparency and my integrity, because once I started becoming a director of a pageant, I felt that she could not be a contestant, because then people would know my name as a director. So I chose to pull her out of the pageants, even though she kind of missed it, because it's not fair. Because we would be sitting in the our little lounge with the judges, and she might meet people. So I just didn't feel that was fair. That's my choice. Not everyone director has to do that.
I want my kids to have more than I have, and my parents want me to have more. So by giving them
I would take her out of state. I would take her out of state. So my pageants were New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and if she wants to compete, I would go to Tennessee, Kentucky. I wouldn't know that many people.
Following, it takes years to build the following. The designers, the brands that want to sponsor the following, they are all local, so they know you. You work as a model, you work as a crew. So it's really important when you take a person out of the state. It's really killing the vast majority of the fan base. Many pageants not just rely on judges in the audience, but they would watch how many likes person get, how many views, how many social media, and
because that's how they become bigger. Absolutely, but
there are other ways to make a decision.
Right. So for my child, like I said, I took her out of state. That was my choice, because I just didn't feel it was fair, and my integrity and my transparency was the utmost important thing. And if I couldn't stand by my word of what I was doing, even for my own child, how could I do a whole industry with so many contestants that are going to trust me to find great qualified judges? And that is our problem, because judges who are truly qualified, who understand pageantry, we all know each other. We all shake hands with each other. So there's 2 ways of really finding judges at this point. You find judges that either know literally everybody, because then they can't say, oh, that's my best friend and that's it. No, we're all best friends, So either you find someone who has a solid reputation already for judging in other areas or other pageants, and you can bring that person in because everyone likes them and they're comfortable with that. I usually interview my judges, and I say, listen, when they come in to judge, I'll show them the program. Do you know these names? If they're like, well, I know this person, I will ask, how do you know them? Are you friends with them? Do you know them outside of pageantry? And if I'm not comfortable, thank you for your time. Because being a judge is a lot of time consuming, and I appreciate it. But because you have a connection with a person,
gets out of it?
Okay, every person's different. I believe, and I never did, and you can have all my judges come here, and they will tell you, I do not pay my judges. The second I would give them money, you know, the second if I chose to give them money, would mean I am buying their vote. So, but, you know, it's their time and their travel. So what I did for Equally was I would pay for their travel, because they are coming to my place of business, and I would pay for food for the day and the night, and if needed, a hotel room, which they would have to share, because it is a business.
But what else are they getting out of being as a judge?
So why do they like to be a judge?
Yes.
Okay. Now I've stopped doing directing because of other personal health issues, but I still have people to this day coming up to me, hey, do you know anywhere I can judge? Can I judge this? They do it because it's good for their social media as well. It's good for their presence, and they have opportunities to show people that they know what they're doing and what they're talking about. So it's all about the appearances and the social media.
Let's go back to the first question.
Yes.
It used to be beauty pageants and now just pageants. So the aspect of beauty, the value of beauty, how the participants can convert their beauty. Obviously, most of the people who compete on pageants are beautiful. How that translates into the jobs, into the wedding proposals, into the happy life, or whatever life can give them. Is there a correlation between being beautifully outside and inside towards
in general,
success in life?
Right. In general, being attractive is something that's within you. You know, confidence is the most beautiful thing in the world. I see this 100%. I don't care what you look like. If you are confident and own whatever it is that you love or dislike about yourself, and you own that, then you're beautiful, period. So that translates to the stage as a confident person. Now, I am a confident person. I'm not flawless, I'm not perfect.
You have a line of being arrogant, like Trump. You can be like confident, overly confident, or you can be like in the right mode. So how that's translates into the value.
Okay, so when you have that inner confidence, it's not just about me being number one. You want to share that with other people because you want them to come and feel confident with you. And you want to bring people together. Now, when you are that person who is bringing people together sincerely, you know, not doing it for any other ulterior motive, other opportunities come to you. That's how I feel. That when you're a confident person, you're doing these pageants, you're shaking hands, you're meeting people, you're taking time out of your day to communicate to others who may need that communication. They're going to introduce you to people. They're going to be like, hey, you're a great person. Come here, meet this, you know, football player. I think you guys would be great together. And I think that's how it happens. And people may say, oh, she just did a beauty pageant because she wants to meet a husband. No. I think it works out.
Nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's a way of why not?
I understand what you're saying, because there's some people who still think it's all about getting married. It's all about being married.
Part of it, if it's important for the person to be successful and happy, and that's what.
I'm not wearing my wedding ring right now, but I've been with my husband for 20 years, so you know something works. I gain weight. My ring doesn't fit, but
I have it on my keychain.
That's smart. I'm gonna tell my husband that, but. When you have that persona that you want to succeed, you want to find somebody in your life. If you want to find somebody and you feel like the beauty pageants or the regular pageants are going to help you get that goal, go for it. If that's what you want in life, go for it. But I honestly don't think that the men who are always just looking at these girls would want a singular wife who's only about their being rich, you know, not anymore.
Do they feel it's a little bit of independent and threatening? And some of those girls are extremely beautiful, and normal guys would never dare to talk to them and approach them.
Absolutely.
How that translates into the advantage or disadvantage there?
Well, when you're talking about a regular guy, okay, let's, you know, that he's physically not, you know, Brad Pitt, okay, just the average guy.
But everybody wants to marry the, you know, the queen of the school prom.
Right, you know, the home queen, the home king, because I just think we're naturally, you know, genetically built to be attracted to, not really power, but that confidence that I was saying, just like the animals, there's the lion king. It's not the whole bunch of lions. So we do have that natural flow within us to be attracted towards the confidence and the beautiful people. Okay. But they have confidence come more easy maybe to people who found their beauty at a younger age compared to people who
find,
grow it inside.
Interest in pleasant things and something that's natural, beautiful, and pleasant to look at. I go to museums to look at beautiful paintings. I own a well-bred dog and cat. Like I like to have beautiful things, pleasant look. So when you have someone extremely attractive at all times during your life, at day and night, that's nothing wrong with admiring the beauty.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with wanting beautiful things around you. If that was something wrong, Gucci wouldn't be a brand. Those are beautiful things. We want beautiful things, but what's beautiful to you may not be beautiful to somebody else. And another thing is, you said you're married a long time and you love your wife, and I'm sure she's beautiful. Now, God forbid, something happened to her. I was just talking to some of the girls. I actually was in an accident when I was 16 years old, where half my face was burnt to my shoulders. And I
still love you.
I had a good plastic surgeon. It was really burnt. It was bad. It was horrible. And that taught me to, believe it or not to care so much about the physicality, because people are going to like me for who I am. Because you're not going to leave your wife if, God forbid, she has an accident like that. You love her. You're going to find her beautiful no matter what. And that's where it all goes back to the very main theme that I always say, confidence. And that's what pageants do. They build confidence, because even if you lose, you have to be confident enough to go back and put yourself through it again and probably lose again, because you have so many people vying for one big title and they're not always going to win. So it's all about the confidence that you have inside yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions about pageants, hopefully Janelle will come back and we can answer some of your questions next time.
I'll be brutally honest.
Would you please tell the audience one more time your social media?
You can reach me on Instagram at thatreallycoolmom, THTREALLY COOLMOM, and also my secondary social media is at OMCuteness, and that's really all my presence right now. I'm still working on my Twitter, so that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Samu here, who is an actress. Actor! I'm sorry, not actress, actor. I just had an actress interviewed, and that's why I probably misspoke, but Samu is a very talented person.
Am I?
I think so. I saw your social media.
Thank you.
Let's do this on the Uganda sign. You're from Uganda.
Yeah, I'm over here with Mr. Greatest, the bandit Samu U. He's from Ukraine, I'm from Uganda. It's only right that we throw up the U together, yo. He obliged, Mr. Great. I appreciate you letting me on the show, man. So,
My pleasure.
For everybody in the world, Uganda to Ukraine, united, you see it? Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on the show.
My pleasure. Sometimes for the filmmakers, it's really difficult to shoot like someone with a white skin and someone with a dark skin, because the white balance. We still want to show the garment that what you look like, but at the same time they can, if they do the white balance on my based on my skin, you're not gonna look proper.
That's why
if they gonna do the white balance based on you, I'm gonna be overexposed. So cameras like Red Dragon probably is a nice solution for that. So that's why.
And I appreciate all the extra lights, for my dark skin. I appreciate it.
No, it's I think hopefully we're gonna look good, both of us. So
hey,
that's
man, you're outshining me, but you Mr. Great, so.
For the actors, it's all about light and sound. So hopefully we have good sound. Even though, pardon me, guys, my voice is a little bit killed today.
I told him to take some garlic.
Yes,
after garlic every other hour.
Yes, after the interviews, I will definitely do the garlic. Once the teleprompter will come back, we can talk a little bit more about the acting. But tell us a little bit more about your career. Who you are.
Basically, man, I'm Samu. I'm from Uganda. I'm the youngest of 5. I'm the only one born in Kenya. During the Idi Amin era, my family basically seek refuge to America. And, we got here, I want to say like 88, 89.
Okay.
And my father and, all his brothers and sisters, they were part of like rebel groups.
Okay.
That basically were just trying to fight for like justice and and freedom, you know.
Sometimes I have quite a few friends from Grenada and from Caribbean countries, and I have friends from Senegal and Uganda.
Nice.
And I see that those two groups sometimes have some issues to each other, and the guys who come from the continent like Africa kind of feel that you guys are Caribbean, it's a little bit different. And then when it comes to the union issues or like a fight for the rights of folks who have a different type of skin, all of a sudden everybody gets together, whether Jews or guys from Uganda. Like how that works.
I was just talking to one of the people working here for you, Mr. Great. She's from Ukraine too, and she was saying that she got here 3 months ago because of war and everything. So
yes, there is a war between Ukraine and Russia. That's true.
Yeah, I'm no politician or nothing, but I've been asking God for the past couple of years about my purpose, and he brought it to me, and he said, man, you're here to unite the world, so there's gonna be war, but there's gonna come a time of peace, so all around the world there's a lot going on, but we just gotta recognize that it's all about love, and we all come from the same places.
Let's look at the what kind of useful advice we have for our audience regarding modeling, acting, the skills that you can share. Is there any particular suggestions that you have that might speed up someone's career in the world of music, fashion?
I don't know if I'm the person that. I would just say be yourself. Just step out there and just be yourself. Don't be on the side. Just carry yourself with your head high and know that you're special, and know that you have something to offer the world.
Confidence is very important.
Yeah, nobody. My father passed away 5 years ago on Halloween. Rest in peace, Papa Don. I miss you. And he told my nephew that just got here 3-4 years ago, before he passed, or it was 7-8 years ago. He told him, nobody's gonna speak up for you. You have to speak up for yourself. You have to go and get what you want out of this world, especially in America. So you just go out and get what's yours. That's what I'm out here doing.
Okay, guys, you have to get it off your ass, I guess, and
get up off your ass, please,
and do the thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit music artists and genres of music.
All right. Basically, I do contemporary pop, as my good brother Beneficial told me. He's like, you do contemporary pop. I'm the new wave of world international music. I just came back from Uganda. Shout out to Caliwid, the Don.
How different is the music back home in Uganda versus music that we hear here in States?
Uganda, they still bumping the 80s and 90s hits and the 70s hits, the classics, so the feel is just, everything is just off of natural vibes, it's not so digital and
I always find that countries like Ukraine, Uganda, that are far away from mainstream American type of look, because they are not so much influenced by the American influence. The artists, the people in those countries are capable to be totally original and not influenced by the Western world. Because if you're here in New York like us and you see the same thing that everybody else,
it's capitalistic.
It's not about capitalistic. It's more like you are and the McDonald's, all this, the main corporation interest. So whatever you invent, it has a kind of reflection of what you see in front of you. But the guys in Uganda, in Ukraine, because they don't have the little villages. I'm talking about some of them, the electricity, far. All they have maybe books of Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, or they have really something that's the jungle, the actual nature. Those things are so pretty, so clear.
And that's what makes it so genuine.
So they can influence, and they can be the colors, the music, the sound, the beats can come out totally different, not being influenced by the Western civilization.
Nah, you're definitely right about it. When I recorded Million Girls in Uganda with Caliwid, just the whole vibe around. You know, it's like you said, it's a natural state. You know, there's no
People come there just because it's so much cheaper to produce there. You can
shout out to French Montana. French Montana, you got the #1 record.
Beautiful models, and for a fraction of cost that we'll have here in New York. But there are other reasons why people come to third world countries.
Yeah, aside from the cost effectiveness of doing videos and music, the energy there is second to none. The spirit of the people in Uganda and in the third world countries, they don't value themselves off of what they have on or what they have. It's more so about your spirit. That's why I think French Montana, he just put out the #1 summer record. He's from Morocco, and he came to Uganda to shoot the video, and he did an amazing job, and he captured the spirit of Uganda. Yo, French, I really appreciate that, man.
Okay. When people come from the third world countries like Uganda or Ukraine, for that matter, is there any other advantages that those people carry with themselves when they are in open market? Here in New York, we all compete. Whether you're born here, you have no accent, you have a wealthy family, or you're poor. Everybody is pretty much, especially on Instagram and Facebook, equal. You get your likes or you don't get your likes, and that's pretty much fair system.
Well, likes and all that doesn't mean anything, What really matters is you pursuing exactly your purpose in life.
Okay, so you don't look for the approval from the audience.
I'm not looking for anybody's approval, God already gave me the approval to do what I'm supposed to do and what I'm going to do.
So you're like more like Apple, when you have your vision and you do. If they like it, they follow you. They don't like it, that's my.
The world will understand. I'm not trying to basically be subservient to anybody. God already told me what I have to do.
Tell our audience a little bit about the social media.
Yo, so look, man, if you want to follow the Bandit Samu, you can hit me up on God bless you. You can hit me up on Instagram, Samu Blue, SEMU, the color blue, BLUE. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, Samu Music, and I'm coming out with UTV. That's gonna be basically just showcasing all the people from around the world. I would love for you to be on UTV.com and just show all the people that I've met from all around the world, And it's not gonna be just about me, It's about everything that influenced me. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for coming.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions for Samu, you can write to us, and hopefully Samu will come back. And
are we going fishing? I see you. Yes. This guy I've never been fishing. Can you take me fishing one day, please?
You got it.
Let's do it.
It's a fishing season now.
Uganda to Ukraine, Mr. Great. Thank you so much, man.
Let's
hit him with it. We love you out there, man. Unite. Bandit, we going? Can we go eat?
Stay. We need a steady shot.